Frigidaire. It means the first electric refrigerator. The first compact electric range. Now, there's the Frigidaire Gallery Range with Symmetry double ovens. It's designed to cook multiple dishes at multiple temperatures, so you can prepare the entire meal at the same time. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. As you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion. Kind of a cowboy theme today. We're going to talk about the quickest or the fastest gun in the West. 436 Me TV, option 11. We're back with our program in a moment. Back here on the program, Connect with Me on Comcast Channel 187, 43.6, and of course now 13.1. You can watch the replay a couple of times today at 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock tonight, and you can also catch us on YouTube. And I'm wearing this shirt today, kind of a cowboy theme. We're going to talk about the quickest gun in the West, maybe the entire country, the fastest gun alive, my friends. I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy today's program. But first, I want to start with some politics and follow up on what we talked a little bit about yesterday. Here are a couple of the races that are just too close to call right now. The Johnny Teixeira race, Johnny Teixeira versus Jim Costa, the incumbent. He's been in Congress for 10 years. This one is so close you can't call it. We may not know the winner of this race until about December 5th or so, that far out. This Friday, we're supposed to get an update from the Fresno County Registrar, Brandy Orth, on some of these races. Also too close to call is the Fresno City Council race. Esmeralda Soraya and Kerry Catalano. Catalano with the lead there, barely. Teixeira leads Costa also at this point, but these are too close to call. And Lisa Gamoyan, even though she has the lead of more than 700 votes at this point, still a lot of those provisionals and absentee ballots to count. So again, we may not know the winner until December the 5th. We might know before then. We might know sooner, but we're going to get an update on Friday as to the status of some of these races. Very interesting race, that Costa race, the most shocking of them all right here in the Central Valley. I want to talk about a program that's coming up next Tuesday, starting Veterans Day. It is called Every Man's War, and you can watch that on Retro and Tough TV, 13.2, 13.4, and 13.7. We have a preview of what you'll see starting on Veterans Day. Back here, live on the showroom floor, of course, that is called Every Man's War, starting next Tuesday, Veterans Day. It debuts on 13.2, 13.4, and 13.7. That'd be Retro and Tough TV, all part of Ventura Broadcasting. So if you have a digital antenna, you'll be able to see it, no problemo, on those three stations. All right, to our program now, the fastest gun in the West. Today, we have, my friends, the person who is the fastest gun in the West. In fact, he might be the fastest gun in the entire land across the country. I want to roll the videotape and take you to Northwest Fresno, the gun range out there. His name is Bob Myers, and you know what he does for fun? Do you know? Yeah, he stands in his living room and practices quick draw. Yep. You know, as a kid, I used to stand in front of the mirror and act like I'm quick drawing with Matt Dillon. Makes me wonder who would win in a real standoff between Myers and Dillon. Know what I mean? Myers recently was crowned the champion at the World Championships fast draw competition in Fallon, Nevada. That makes him the fastest gun alive, and when Myers isn't hanging at Starbucks these days, you can find him on the range trying to practice that fast draw. Across the nation, there are some 3,000 devoted members of the Cowboy Fast Draw Association. And the motto is safety first, obviously, with the gun. Have fun, that's second. And number 3 would be do the best you can in competition. Myers is a carpenter by trade, but 7 years ago he took up the sport, and this year alone he has won titles in 3 other states besides California, Colorado, Oregon, and Idaho. Live in our studio right now, you can see him right there in the red shirt, the cowboy shirt, Bob Myers. He's the quickest draw alive, maybe the quickest draw anywhere in the entire country. You're welcome to call in. We'll have some fun on the program today. 436-MeTV, option 11. Hey, if Matt Dillon and Gunsmoke are your favorite programs here on MeTV, you'll really enjoy today's program. Back in just a moment.
Attention all units. We have reports of 2 motorcycle cops protecting California's highways.
That's for us, good buddy.
The Men of Chips are on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Baker. I'm John Baker. He's Officer Baker.
He's the blonde one.
Hi there!
Officer Poncherello, man.
Frank Poncherello.
Oh, I'm Frank Poncherello.
And he's the one who's Eric Estrada.
There's no way I wouldn't remember a name like that.
Catch the blonde one and the one who's Eric Estrada on
Now
Chips.
on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
You know, just about a week ago, Bob Myers was featured on the Life section, right on the front cover of the Fresno Bee. And there he is, quick drawing, right in front of, I don't know if that's the television set or what, but it's inside his living room in his home. Bob Myers is here. Good to see you, Bob. I like that red shirt.
Well, thank you so much.
Man, you're ready to take on Matt Dillon here, aren't you?
This is one of my champion shirts. So
that's your championship shirt?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
All right. You know, we do have some video of the championship round, and
yes,
we're going to get into the details of this. 436-MeTV, option 11. I want you to take a look at the winning shot. Bob Myers taking part in the World Championships in Fallon, Nevada. The winning shot, here it is.
We got a 9:26 on 1, no time on 2, no time on 3, and a 3:64 on 4. No time, 1, 2, or 3, a 3:57 on 4, round of elimination.
Shooters, set. Round of elimination going to Marshall Cooper. That'll give Oregon Cowboy and Oregon Rangers second place. But Marshall Cooper is the 2014 fastest gun alive world champion at Cowboy Fast Draw right here. 10 in a row. Undefeated this year.
All right, so that was in Fallon, Nevada. When was that, Bob?
That was October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th weekend. Yeah, so it's been a really uphill for me ever since then. It's really exciting. I love it.
We do have a call coming in. Let's just try to take
sure.
it. Caller, are you there? Nope, you were there. Okay, call back, 436-MeTV, hit option 11. Do call in, just ask your question, and we'll move on here and try to get as many calls in as we possibly can today. We'll be here for the next 45 minutes. So, Bob, why quick draw? You've been in construction all your life, so obviously it goes without saying this is a hobby for you.
Yes, it's been a passion for me for many years. I remember back at 18 years of age, I was driving down the street and I saw this gentleman standing on the back of a flatbed truck, and it was Bob Munden. Bob Munden passed away within a year ago. He was the fastest man alive, and he was great. And I saw him doing fast draw. I've been interested ever since. Didn't know where to go, how to do it, until 7 years ago. I was on the internet and I was looking at fast draw. My wife was standing behind me. She goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I want to do fast draw." She says, "Oh my God.
Have you lost your mind?"
Have you lost your mind? So I got involved in it, and I've been shooting ever since, and I love it.
Well, you're good at it,
well,
so at least we know that. We know that.
You, yes.
Well, you got the championship trophy to prove it. Caller, what is your question for Bob Myers?
Why don't you use a big boy holster?
Yeah. Go ahead. What's your question? Your question, please.
My question is, how come he uses a holster that's angled already, so all he has to do is slide it out a little bit and squeeze the trigger.
Yeah.
All my cowboy movies, the holster is straight down, just like the other guys that are walking around there. I don't feel that's cheating, if you ask me. That's cheating. So
I love it.
I love that call.
Yeah,
I'm with that. So what's up, man? What are you cheating?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. That's what I do the best. But no, this is actually designed for the sport on what we do too.
So it's got to be angled. The holster is angled a little bit, right?
No, it does not have to be angled. It's just that this just makes the gun perform better in the draw, basically. So,
yeah, but you can get it out quicker.
Well,
as opposed to it being straight down.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly, but I used to shoot with a straight down one too, and it came out just as fast.
It did. So it makes no difference to you.
No, not
straight
really.
Down,
straight
at an
down,
angle. Who cares?
Long gun, short gun, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay, can you pass me the weapon?
I'm going to show you that there's
safety first, though. How do we handle this?
It's unloaded. So
it's unloaded. Okay, you've already showed me that. Okay, this is the. I'm going to point it this way. I just want to hold that up and take the tight shot of me, and you can see the gun right there on that shot. If you can take that shot, that's the 6-shooter right there that he uses. And you've had this gun for about what?
5 years. I've been shooting. Well, I have 2 guns. One was 2 years. I've been shooting this one for 5 years. It's a Ruger New Vaquero. It's a great gun. It's a durable gun.
And it's like the old Wild West. It's a 6-shooter.
It's a 6-shooter.
You got to cock it to shoot.
It's single action revolver.
I'll let you handle that. Let's take the call. Caller, what's your question for Bob Myers? Caller, you there?
Oh, yes.
What's your question?
I just kind of curious. I've messed around a lot with some of the guys out in the country doing fast draws, with putting a quarter on our hand and reaching back and grabbing the gun. I noticed this gentleman is arched back, his hips forward, his hands on the gun, the holster's forward. There's not much left. Why don't you just have it? It doesn't look like to me that you're fast drawing, or you're not fast drawing of what we're used to. I mean, in that position right there, you might as well have your gun out and shoot.
You're being challenged here today by some of these callers, man.
I love it. I really do.
They're putting you on the spot here. Man, see, it's not me. It's the callers.
Well, what happens when I first put the holster on, when I first shot the gun, I was standing vertical, just like everybody else you see on TV.
Yeah.
Of course, TV's a different story, but. Yeah, but when you're competing in the sport, you start to learn how to get to a certain stance to help get the gun out quicker. That's just normal.
Okay.
So most of the shooters that shoot this sport develop that in time. It's just a natural thing for the body to do, and is it cheating? I don't know. I mean, I don't think
but see, here's the thing, and great calls, great questions by our viewers today. 436 MeTV option 11. We're going to show some more video there. Yeah, I mean, this isn't Gunsmoke. This isn't the Wild West. It's a competition, and everybody pretty much has the same rules, and they shoot the same way. Am I right?
Right, absolutely.
They use the same form.
They use the same guns, style guns. The holsters may be a little difference in variations.
But for the most part, they match.
Yeah, this is actually one of the truest holsters out there of 1800 correct. So
yeah, we'll talk about that in just a moment here. Caller, what's your question for Bob?
Hey, Bob, let me ask you a real quick question on back in the Western days. Let's say
it's got to be quick, caller. Quick,
like a sport.
Yeah, quick.
The competition would be just a sport, but against Doc Holliday or maybe Wyatt Earp, how would you think you would fare? Because I could see that you're at an angle and they're an upward position, and it takes a steady hand, number one, in order to get the target you want. How do you think you would fare against them?
Well,
okay.
I've been asked that a lot.
How would you fare against a Doc Holliday?
I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't
No. You have to be crazy to have someone shoot back at you.
Yeah.
So that's the advantage I have. What I do is when we're shooting targets, if I miss the target doesn't shoot back. So
see, to make those comparisons is really not accurate, because this quick draw competition is much different than the old Wild West days, when everybody was, you know, it was the Wild West.
Wild West,
and,
yeah.
And people walked around with guns in their holsters.
Right.
And the holsters were straight up and down.
Right. They wore them high.
Yeah.
You know, keep them so they don't fall out. And,
yeah, in some cases they wore them high.
But well, how would I fare? That's, you know, how would I? You know, I don't want to try and see how I would fare. I mean, that's absolutely crazy, really. I enjoy what I do. It's the art of fast draw. That's what I'm involved in. Is the art, and I can't really explain what it's like until you actually put a gun belt on your hip, put a single action revolver in it,
yeah,
and wait for a light to come on a target and draw the gun, cocking it, aiming and firing it as fast as you can, and try to beat your opponent. And that's, I mean, that alone is just, it's exhilarating in itself. So.
Okay, talking to Bob Myers, he's the quick draw champion across the nation. He's got that big trophy to show for it, and also has a championship belt. Where's that belt? Did you bring that belt? You brought the belt? You got the championship belt? It's right here, right?
Yeah. Well, this was actually, this is a buckle from the Top Gun. I'm wearing the belt, and I'll be more than happy to take it off for you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, Bob Myers is here. 436 Me TV option 11. We'll be back with our Wild Wild West program here in just a moment.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
All right, we have a call coming in here to connect with me. Good morning, you're on with Bob Myers. What's your question, please?
My question is, they should have some standard rule about the holster being straight down, or other guys can use the same kind of holster and technique, because he's leaning back also, which allows him a more angle to pull that straight holster, because it's like having his holster straight forward and just barely pulling it out, you know, and it should be fair to the other guys too.
Yeah, but everybody is operating.
I don't think it's fair.
Yeah, but caller, are you still there? Caller?
Yes.
What I'm trying to tell you is that Bob isn't the only one. All of the competition or competitors in that competition are under the same rules. They're using the same rules for everybody across the board.
But they don't have the same holsters on, and I don't see anybody but him shooting, but I saw other guys walking by, and they had the holsters that were, like, straight down.
Okay, I'll let Bob answer that.
Yes. Each shooter has a specific holster that they use for the design of their draw. I started with the straight down one. I learned to use this as a cant. This is an 18-degree cant. I learned my draw technique. The way I perform my draw was developed that the straight down holster wasn't interfering with my draw. So I came with a cant that made the gun come out to the technique and style of my draw, creating it to work better and giving me more speed to complete the draw. So.
Hey, I want to hold up, let's take this tight shot of me here. I want to hold this up right here. This is the Championship Buckle 2014, the Fast Draw Competition Championships, the World Championships in Fallon, Nevada. This is the belt and the buckle won by Bob Myers. I want to roll some more videotape, and you know, pretty much any one that you want here, we can roll it and talk about what we're looking at in terms of your style.
Okay,
and there's your championship belt there again. We can take that full screen. Well, we didn't see it, but anyway, that's your quick draw right there out at the range in Northwest Fresno. And so, yeah, you are leaning back and you got your hand on the gun, and the holster is kind of slanted, as they said. But do most of the competitors have the same style? Most?
No. Right there, what you see right there, I do have a little lean back. I squat down. This is the fastest motion that I've developed to get the gun out and fire and hit the target. Now,
what's your time?
Well, my fastest time in competitions has been a 3:10, and that means 31/100ths of a second. The world record's at 2:98, which is 29, just under 300ths of it, so it's 2,900.
So you're pretty close to it.
Within about 11 thousandths of a second for the world record.
Yeah.
But my stance, my draw is very unique to a lot of the shooters. Right now, it's really amazing is that more people right now is trying to purchase this particular rig for what I've done this year.
Yeah, because it works. I want to hold this up.
It works. They love it.
This is it right here.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the holster, and it's kind of got a, it's got a little bit of a slant to it, as you can see. Even if I hold this belt buckle straight like this, you can see the slant on that holster. And, why don't you go ahead and put the gun in there, and if you can, and then I'll hold it up after you put the revolver, the 6-shooter in there, and you can kind of see what it looks like much better. Yeah, you can tie it down there. And here's what it looks like if it's straight up and down. You can see there is kind of a slant to it, but it actually works for you and your style.
Absolutely.
And how did you figure that out, that it works in your style?
Well, actually, I was using another rig that was more straight. And I had
in the
beginning, I was having a hard time with it. My draw is a very unique style of draw. A lot of shooters are trying to copy
emulate you.
Yeah. So right now, but the designer is Shanico Holsters, and he came up to me at the end of the year, last year's World. I took 3rd place in the World last year. And so he walked up to me and he goes, Marshall, which is my alias, Marshall Cooper. He said, Marshall, he goes, I have a design holster that's very period correct. I want you to try it because it's designed around your style of draw. Well, I put this holster on and everything's changed. I was able to get this gun. It worked for me. Everything came smooth. My perfection of my drawing was absolutely perfect. And I won 10 championships with it this year. And so I'm grateful for Shanico Holsters. And
what's the name again?
It's Shanico. That's his alias.
Shanico.
Shanico Holsters.
Okay.
His name is Ted Blocker. He lives in Oregon. It's Estacada, Oregon. He's been building holsters for since the 70s.
Roll the videotape here. I guess this would be Myers 3, and we'll take a look at your form once again. I do believe we have a phone call here too coming into the video, but we can kind of see you drawing there. There's the target, and the target has a light on it. As soon as you see the light on the target, that's your cue to draw.
The cue, right. That's giving me, there's a time delay 2 to 5 seconds. So
yeah. Caller, what's your question for Bob Myers?
Yes, I was wondering a couple questions. Accuracy, do they count on accuracy when you actually shoot? I mean, and also, can you have like a swivel holster? And is there how do they judge between accuracy and speed? Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay. So 2 questions.
Yeah.
Accuracy, do they judge for that? And also like a swivel holster. Not sure what that means.
Well, no, that's not period correct. It's a swivel holster. Everything has to come out. The gun has to come out of the holster. There's nothing trick about what we do, okay? Now the speed and accuracy.
Do they count speed only and not accuracy?
No, accuracy is you have to hit the target to get a point.
And how big is that target?
The target is 24 inches in diameter.
Okay.
And it's 21 feet away. You take that image, stand 21 feet away, look at something that's a cylinder, a circle of 24 inches, and most people look at it and go, how do you miss that?
Yeah.
Until you put a gun on and you draw at it, you'll see how you miss that.
Yeah.
And it's very, very...
Yeah, some more video here of you at the range, and there is the target. How big is that target again?
24 inches in diameter.
All right. All right. You can see the light in the middle flashing right there. There it is. There's a tight shot of it. And as soon as that light goes on, then that's your cue to go ahead and draw.
Draw. That's the cue. Then you react to the light. When the light comes on, you draw the gun out of the holster, you cock it, you aim it, you
There's
pull
the light
trigger.
that just went on.
Right.
Yeah. So you can see
and then
that.
when the projectile, which is a wax bullet, now what we don't use live ammo. When the wax bullet strikes the target, it has a sensor, the light starts to blink, and that lets you know that you hit the target, and then it's on a time system. So the fastest time with the strike of the target will win the shot.
Right. So you have a almost like a delayed reaction because you have that person who is running the timer, and that timer is connected to the target.
Correct.
Electronically.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct. There's a command that we use as shooter on the line, shooter set. At the set command, you can't move. They release a button on a timing system.
Yes.
It's 2 to 5 second delay. When the light comes on, you react, you cock, draw, fire, strike the target. The target will give you a time. When you hit the target, it'll stop the clock, give you a readout in thousandths of a second.
Right. Okay. We got to take a break. Bob Myers is here. He's the world quick draw champion. He won it in Fallon, Nevada, just last month, the early part of October. He's here to talk about his venture and why he's into the sport. And yes, it is a sport. 3,000 members strong across the nation. Back with our program 436 MeTV Option 11.
A top secret location. It's the spies who love me, bringing together MeTV's top super spies to fight evil at a memorable moment's notice. They're daring.
That's right.
Brave.
Now what are we gonna do?
The best we can.
Suave.
Does that apply to me, Oscar? Possibly.
And smart.
The old finger in the gun trick.
Maxwell Smart.
MeTV Fresno, channel 43.6 and Xfinity 187.
This fall, there is a place, familiar and inviting, timeless and warm. MeTV, a place all your own that you can call home.
Hi, honey, I'm home.
This fall, home is where you'll find me.
You mean to tell me that's all there is to it?
That's all.
MeTV Fresno, channel 43.6 and Xfinity 187.
Appreciate the phone calls today. We have an open line, 436 MeTV Option 11, and want to roll another piece of videotape out there at the range of Bob and I were out there as well. Yeah, I was out there. I tried my quick draw the best I could, but anyway, we're going to talk about the competition, and that is, there we are, both of us out there, and I've got the 6-shooter on. You know, you don't make the rules. Who makes the rules as to the kind of holster that you have, the kind of gun, how you stand, how you shoot? Who makes those rules?
Well, the organization itself we have a rule book that we follow, and through the years, there's been changes and stuff to try to keep the level of competition as fair as possible.
Right. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, real quick question to Bob. If you wanted to start off competition or learn, what's the best type of gun to practice or to buy? A Colt, or I don't know what type you use, but I'd like to find out what kind of gun you use, or is a Colt a good brand to get?
Okay, good.
Well, all the guns in the 6-shooter, you have the Colt Peacemakers. That's what started this whole thing. They're a great gun. This one's a Ruger. This is a Ruger New Vaquero. This is a great gun. You know, I mean, this is a strong gun. These guns are really built. They're stock guns. We don't do nothing to the guns. They're stock guns.
Okay.
And they're very durable and strong for what we do. Fast draw is very abusive on a revolver. I mean, an average person cocking this gun normally is nothing compared to violence what I put this gun through when I'm drawing this thing.
Yeah.
The speed, the hammer, the yank, the pulling back and cocking it, and everything's happened so hard and so quick that the mechanism could just fail because of the speed of it. And that's what's kind of amazing. But they're a great gun. Any six shooters, a single action 45 chambered revolver will work in this sport. Mm-hmm. Some people have them. The great thing about this sport is also you learn how to handle the gun too. The proper way of handling, the safety part of it, because it's wax bullets. You never ever want to draw a fast draw with a live round.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things you just never want to try.
Why not?
Well, the speed of this, there's too much room for an accident. I mean, you're taking this gun, you're cocking it like this in the holster, as you're pulling it out, and if your finger decides to pull the trigger and drop that hammer, you're going to shoot yourself. You know, so that's the problem. You don't want to
live
do
rounds
with live rounds. Yes.
Right. Caller, what's your question for Bob Myers?
John, I noticed that when you were in the picture right there with him at the gun range, your holster was straight down, and his was, we're standing right next to him, and his is angled. Now, the question is that the leaning back and the angling, I mean, he just has to, it's just a little bit of pull out and then, bring his gun up. But with the other holster that you had, you'd have to pull your hand up and then angle it at a 45-degree angle. To me, it just isn't fair for to be in the same competition as people with different holsters like that. Especially when he's leaning back, he's got just 1 degree to pull out and just point.
Okay. Thanks for your comment and your question. That's a good question.
Well, actually, now if you look right there, it actually has a cant to it. Maybe it's not as much, but there is a cant in that particular rig that you're wearing.
Yeah. Now that's a straight up and down.
Well, it's not straight up and down. It does have it has a cant to it.
It does, really?
It does. It does.
I need to put my glasses on and look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see a little bit of a slant to it, just a little bit. Maybe not as much as your holster.
No,
but,
this one has
not,
18 degree, which is the max that you can go in the sport.
Yeah, and again, there are rules made by the association.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of callers that ask, and I really appreciate all the calls too. This is actually great, but
you're getting a lot of publicity out of
this.
Yes,
my stance. I mean, there's videos out there and there's photographs that I can bring and show you some of the shooter's stance, and you're going to look and you're going to go,
yeah,
what?
What? You got to be kidding.
They have their right foot forward and they're scrunched down.
Look at that photo right there.
It's actually amazing how they get down.
All right, let's analyze this photo.
Okay.
Let's keep that up there. Okay, that is as you're actually shooting. You've actually pulled the trigger. It's fairly obvious.
Right.
What advantage do you get, number one, from having that holster slanted? That's the first question. What advantage do you think you get?
Actually, to be honest, I don't really think there is an advantage. Okay, now the advantage that...
But for you, it fits your style
It
more.
fits the style of my draw, because I'll show you here in a minute on this, but the gun positions always... You see on the side of my hip there, there's a little gray patch. That patch was designed for me just to protect my shirt.
Okay.
Okay, basically that's what it's for. But my draw is very consistent. They're always in that same spot. So
right. And then the second question, you have your back arched, you're leaning back.
Right.
Why is that good for you and your style?
It's just it's comfortable for me, because the way I position, I get down and everything just comes in. It's just the motion of what I do.
It looks like you're throwing your back out there.
Well, actually, my back is actually straighter than some of the shooters that I shoot.
Is that
with.
right?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
yeah.
All right, caller, what's your question for Bob Myers?
I'm looking at his picture of his back, the way he's angled. Also, that gives him less degree to have to pull it and use his wrist to straighten it out, the gun, and point and shoot. And that to me seems unfair for the other ones that have to stand straight up and pull it out like you did, and then point and shoot. It's just not a standard way. I mean, in the Old West, they didn't lean like that and have those guns. They weren't holding their hands on the gun at once to shoot who's the fastest.
Yeah.
So.
But this is a competition. We're not talking about.
It's a competition. Yeah.
We can't. Again, we have. I appreciate the comments, caller, but again, we're not comparing. The quick draw competition to the Wild Wild West.
Well, right.
I mean, it's impossible to compare. You can't compare that. The association makes up the rules. The competition is that everybody has their hand on the gun. You're not the only one.
Everyone, yes.
Yeah, everyone has their hand on the gun. You saw me with my hand on the gun. That's how they do it.
That's called lawman ready, and actually that's the correct way to start the draw. What we see on television's Hollywood.
Right.
Hollywood created a lot what we see. So what you see on Hollywood is not necessarily what you saw back in 1870. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And if you watch Gunsmoke here on MeTV every weekday, Monday through Friday, of course, 1 o'clock, you'll see some of those old westerns and Matt Dillon and Festus on there. But it's not, this competition is it's night and day. It's not the same as the Wild Wild West. We're back with our program and your phone calls. If you're interested, call in. We're talking about the fast draw competition, a very interesting conversation. I know you have your opinions out there, so call in and offer them up. Back in a moment.
Frigidaire. It means the first refrigerator. It means a history of innovations that help make your home life better. And now we introduce the new Frigidaire French door refrigerator with over 100 ways to organize for maximum flexibility. Built with adjustable flip up and slide under shelving and stackable crisper drawers. It's the refrigerator that flexes to fit it all, no matter what your day will bring. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Back here in the program, Ask an Expert, and the expert today is the quick draw champion, how to do it and how to win. All right, caller, you're on the air with Bob Myers. What's your question?
Yes, I'm getting, we seem to be getting repeat things about the disadvantage and that it's unfair to other competitors. I don't follow this sport, but I can say from just watching a few minutes of it that if everyone has the same rule book to follow, I don't see that he has any advantage over anybody else, because everybody else who's competing can develop the same stance or a different stance as long as it falls within the rules. Then I don't see that he has any advantage or an unfair advantage. He may have an advantage, but that's because he's developed it over the years. Right. So I have to agree with him that he doesn't really have an advantage over it. In some instances, it may be a disadvantage. So that's just my opinion. So thank you very much.
Hey, I agree with the caller. If everybody is following the same rule book and under the same guidelines, then the competition is fair, and they are free. The other competitors are free to use the same style that you have.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great call. You know, to get back what she said, I thank you so much for the call. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
A lot of the calls straight down unfairness. When I was using a straight down holster, people thought I was cheating. So it doesn't matter. I mean, I had a, you know, I've had a technique and I developed it through the years, and straight down, straight upside down, down around my back, whatever it was, that gun was going to come out. I was going to hit that target and try to be faster than anybody out there. And that's how I do it. So.
Right. All right. Another call. Let's roll another piece of videotape while we're taking the call and see what comes up on the screen. Good morning, caller. Your question for Bob, please.
Yes, I just had a quick question. Is you know, how fast is his fastest draw he's ever had, if he's ever been timed, and what distance was the target he was shooting at?
Good call. I like that. My fastest time in competition has been a 3:10, and the next fastest was a 3:11.
3/100ths of a second?
Yeah, that's 310 thousandths of a second.
Wow.
3/100ths or 3/10. So I mean, it's very quick, and that's including the reaction, the draw, and the bullet striking the target. All that in one moment, a third of a second.
I don't even think you can do that quickly on a stopwatch.
Yeah, that's
hard.
That's kind of cool to do. If you have like your iPhone, you get your stopwatch there, push start and stop as quickly as you can, and you'll see how quick 3/10 of a second really is.
I mean, that's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
And the world record is again
298.
298.
Point 298.
Point 298.
Yeah, that's just under 3/10 of a second.
Yeah, and that's faster than you.
But in the real world, we both would be dead.
Yeah.
So that's why I will not do it.
I know. No, I realize that. There's the technique right there. Out on the range in northwest Fresno, that's where the Fresno County Sheriff's Department and their deputies go out there and practice. Another phone call coming in. I do want to say that we're going to try to limit these calls to, you can only call in once during the show, not 2 or 3 times with 14 follow-up calls. All right, so let's take this and see who it is. Good morning, caller. Oops, nope. Too late. Okay. One call per show during the hour, 10 to 11. And go ahead and talk about your style and technique here again, Bob.
Well, I tend to, a lot of the shooters have their right foot forward. As a right-hander, they'll have their right foot forward, their left foot back. Because that's comfortable the way they stand. They squat.
I notice you don't.
They actually get down lower and lean back further than I do. So what you're seeing here, so I don't know, if you see some other photographs of some of the shooters, then you could ask me who has the advantage. If according to their style, I would not. But that's another story. But this technique I developed for accuracy. Now, one of the questions said accuracy is very important too, but speed also helps the winning shot. Right. Striking the target, you win the point. but if you have a faster time than your opponent, then you win the point. So speed and accuracy both combined together is important.
Yeah, I'd like to pull up a photo of the winning trophy. We have a photo of you with the winning trophy in Fallon, Nevada. There you are. That trophy is almost as tall as you are.
Well, actually, it's sitting on a table.
I know, but still, it's pretty tall. And you're what, 6?
I'm 6'4".
6'4".
And it's probably 40 inches tall, the trophy, yeah. The great thing about this was when I won this, we have a shooter, and her alias is Mighty Munchkin, and she is a sweetheart, and she carried that trophy for me out to my car, and it was a photo shot of itself, and I wish I had it here with me, but that was really awesome what she did.
Now, do they have the female competition of this?
Yes, that's
Lefty.
That's Lefty Liskin. That's her alias. Tammy is her first name.
She's the female champion?
She is the Top Gun 2014 the Top Gun Award.
Think you could take her?
She's an excellent shooter.
You didn't answer my question. You think you could take her?
She's a great shooter.
She could take you. I'm having fun with you, man.
I have been taken by some.
With you.
Yeah, I have been taken by some amazing people, and even kids at 10 years old put a gun on one time and took me. So that's kind of.
I'm messing with you, man. Yeah. Caller, go ahead. You're on here.
Yes.
Yes, that's a nice trophy. It's by the way, it's a nice trophy.
Thank you.
The only thing is that I saw on TV. I don't know if it was on one of those 2020, but the world's fastest shooter a long time ago. He had to grab his gun out of his holster and pull it straight up and use his wrist action, and that guy was real fast. I don't know his name. I forgot who he was, but he was a cowboy, and he used to practice. And I mean, just like you had a holster, John, he used the same type, but he didn't have his hand on the gun. He had to put his hand to the side like in the West, in the old movies, which, I've seen.
All right. Well, we've been over this topic again, and I do want to mention to our viewers, if you've already called the show once, you only get one phone call per show. Those of you who have not called in yet and want a chance at asking Bob a question, go ahead and call in at 436-MeTV option 11. We do have the caller ID here, so call in, and we got to take a break, and we're going to come back and have some more fun. We can't take this stuff too seriously, right? It's not a matter of life. We're out here to have some fun, Bob.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I'd love to get some of these callers out there and put a gun on and have them have a try.
You didn't expect this, did you?
No, I'm loving it. I love it. I appreciate it, too.
I still want to know if the female champion can take you. That's all I want to know. All right. We're back with our program here, 436-MeTV, option 11, in just a moment.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
The Ballad of Andy and Barney. Andy and Barney were lawmen, bravest you ever did see. Warned every crook in the record book to stay out of Mayberry. They were the law.
Yes, they were the law, and they didn't know fear.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I guess to sum it up, you could say there's 3 reasons why there's so little crime in Mayberry. There's Andy, and there's me, and baby makes 3.
Now on MeTV Fresno.
All right, if you've called in already on the program, you've already had your chance at asking Bob some questions, so give some other callers a chance to call in. Only one time per show. We do have a call. Let's hope it's not a repeat caller here on the program. Connect with me. We appreciate all the calls, but only one time during the hour. You're on Connect with Me, caller. What's your question for Bob?
Hello?
What's your question, quickly?
My question is, and congratulations to him, I'm skeptical of his stance as well.
Oh, my God.
But my question is, how does his time compare with Bob Munden's time?
Okay. That's a great question.
That's a fair question.
Thank you,
caller.
Okay, the difference between Bob Munden and me is actually 2 different style of draws.
And explain who Bob is.
Bob Munden was the world's fastest gun alive. I mean, he went by that for many, many years, and he was. I saw
How many
his,
years ago?
Oh, this goes way back in the 50s. I mean, this the world fast draw is what the style. He does the fanning. He has the hands are off the gun, and everything's fanning like this, and so amazingly fast. Our sport is different than that. It goes back to more of the cowboy style draw, which is what we're doing here.
Do you think a lot of people out there, and I'm not trying to pass judgment on anybody who's called in, but do you think a lot of people just don't understand your sport?
A lot of it does. What they're doing, what they're seeing, what they see me doing, and what they see on either TV or what they heard, is they're confused on exactly what I do. I don't have a problem with that. I have a lot of questions like that, but I would love to actually show them and let them try what I do. I mean, it's so much fun, and they'll really change their tune on exactly what the sport's about.
Right. Okay. Another call. Hope it's a first-time caller. Are you a first-time caller?
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead. What's your question, please?
Oh well, earlier I heard the guy talking about the fastest gunfighter or gun quick draw.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I've seen that program too. Well, I just to help this guy remember who he was. I think he was from Nevada, and in this program he shot 2 balloons, and it sounded like he only fired 1 shot. That's how fast this guy was.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name either, but that's all I wanted to say.
Right.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think I don't know the exact on which instance. I know several of people that do this. I've even done it too several years ago, but
are you shooting a live round?
No, that's more shooting the balloons or shooting blanks. They're not actually shooting a projectile. What it is the powder that comes out of the casing and sprays and actually pops the balloon.
So you're talking about lightning fast, where your eye barely catches it.
Well, it's amazing. The speeds that they're going is like 23/100ths of a second. They're shooting a quarter of a second. I mean, it's amazing the speed. I did World Fast Draw for a while, and actually I'm faster in my draw doing the thumbing than I am the fanning. So
let's roll another piece of videotape on the meter. We haven't shown the meter yet, and I do want to show the meter because there is a person, an actual live person, that has a meter that's wired up to the target. It's electronically wired. There is the meter there.
It's a timer.
Explain. Yeah, it's a timer. It's a meter and a timer.
Yeah, it's a time clock that we use, and like they said, the command is shooter on the line, shooter set. At the set command, there's a button that was released, starts the clock within a 2 to 5 second delay. And so when the bullet strikes the target, it stops and gives the readout to 1,000ths of a second.
Right. There's a button there. He's pushing the button to start the timer, right?
Right. Yeah. So the command. So when you stay, you'll see how it goes. It goes shooter on the line, and it goes shooter set. You'll see my finger go down. But yeah, it's a simple system. It works well, and you're trying to beat the clock is basically what you do, and along with your opponent.
Right. Any other videos that we haven't run? We'll go ahead and run those now. And did you ever stand in front of the mirror like I did when you were a kid, with your toy gun and holster? And there are some of the bullets, right? By the way, plastic bullets, the gun and the bullets.
Right. I brought some here so I could kind of show a little bit more on the show.
We'll show that in a
like.
minute. We'll let this video play out here, and so
yeah, it's all wax bullets. Please don't ever attempt to do fast draw with live ammunition. That will not work very well. Use wax, please. Use the wax bullets.
You might hurt yourself. You might end up shooting yourself, right?
Yes. I mean, there's always room for that at any given time. So yeah, you want to keep it as safe as possible. That's why we use wax.
Yeah. So you don't want to use live ammo because you don't want the old Barney Fife reaction. Shoot yourself in the foot.
Barney Fife, right?
You know.
And I have done the Barney Fife years ago.
You've done the Barney Fife.
And it landed in my leg.
Really?
Yes. And so,
was it live ammo?
No, it was a wax bullet.
A wax bullet.
I wouldn't be here with it, but
Well, you never know.
Well,
I mean, you could have survived a Barney Fife incident.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. All right. Let's see who's calling here. I hope this is a first-time caller. Good morning. Are you a first-time caller here on Connect with Me?
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's your question?
My question is on the footage. Now they shoot 21 feet.
Yes.
Do they shoot different footage? Does that affect the draw? I mean, you see somebody on TV shoot 100 feet, there's got to be a delay of some kind, more aim. That's my question.
Okay.
Good. That's perfect. We recognize in cowboy fast draw, we recognize 15, 18, and 21 feet. Those are the distances that we shoot at.
But you're at 21.
21 is all title matches.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, there's a difference in angle. It's really amazing. At 21 feet, the gun. Let me if I can show you here real quick.
Hold that up.
When
you got the chirons in.
When you're drawing this gun, any movement like that will miss the target. That can miss the target. So it's very a precise shot at 21 feet. So getting the gun out to that position, pulling the trigger, the advantage in this sport, I'll go back to some of the shooters. The disadvantage that I have against any shooter is me missing the target. That's the bottom of the truth. The advantage of a shooter hitting the target has the advantage over anyone if the person misses. So the advantage is very equal throughout the sport. That's what makes this sport so unique. The fastest in the world can get an X with the slowest in the world.
Hold that gun up there just for a minute. Why do you use a 6-shooter as opposed to a semi-automatic revolver? Why?
This is the Old West, right here. This is the Old West, single action. You got to cock and fire.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, we tested this gun. It's no bullets. It's unloaded.
It's unloaded. Yeah, it's on the bullet. We'll even look at it again. It is unloaded.
But so the sport has ties to the Old West. Is why you use the 6-shooter?
Yes. Yes. Single action.
Simple as that.
Single action 45. It's period. We try to be as period correct in what we do, what we shoot, what we wear. It just makes it fun.
What about the garb? Okay, let's take another. Put up the still photo from the competition, and I want to show what you're wearing there. So the garb, you're pretty much wearing what you're wearing here today. You're wearing jeans.
Yeah, I'm wearing
this shirt, a cowboy hat.
Right.
Is the attire? Is that obviously it's appropriate, but is it required?
It's required to have cowboy boots and a hat on for men to shoot the sport, and a long sleeve shirt, Western style shirt.
What about women?
Women do not have to wear the cowboy hat, but they wear the same attire that they would wear in the period corrective 1800s. So
I see.
And a lot of them really do themselves up. They're actually beautiful when they come out and shoot. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's the proper attire for the men anyway. And we're going to be back with Bob Myers and the program here on Connect With Me, 436-ME-TV, option 11. Hey, if you're a first-time caller, call in. We want to hear from you. Back in just a moment.
It's almost time. Now we'll find out once and for all about Clark Kent and Superman.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a TV show.
Yes, but who is he? What's his name?
He's Superman.
Golly, Clark, won't that be wonderful seeing Superman?
Fighting a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and television the Me TV way.
No one can do the things that Superman does.
The Adventures of Superman.
Now on Me TV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Back here on the program with Bob Myers. He's the fastest gun alive, at least according to the association, the Fast Draw Association. And you brought some plastic bullets with you.
Yes, I did.
Let's take that tight shot of Bob there, and he can hold up some of those bullets. And they look like real bullets.
Yeah, these are just a wax.
They're plastic, and they're wax.
They're wax. This is a long Colt casing.
Got to hold that up to the camera there. Okay. Oh, that's your camera right there.
This is a long Colt casing, and the back where the primer would go is drilled out especially to accept a 209 shot shell primer. Okay, and that just drops right in the back. There's no tools required to load these rounds, which is really nice. Okay, the wax bullet goes
and that's
in,
what hits the target, right?
That's what goes in. You're done and you're ready to go. It's that simple and that quick.
Now, this is a 6-shooter, but you only put 5 in there?
5 rounds.
Why?
Well, you have to start with an empty chamber behind the firing pin.
Safety reasons?
It's safety reasons. The Colts and the Colt clones have the firing pin on the hammer. So what happens is, the problem is if the gun should fall and hit like this, you can fire the weapon. So starting on an empty chamber, if anything happens, if you drop the gun, if it hits, it won't fire. So that's what makes it another safety feature.
If you accidentally, and I say accidentally, shot the gun and the wax bullet hit somebody in the arm, could it hurt them? Could it kill them?
It will hurt. It's like a paintball type. I mean, it will welt up, penetrating the body unlikely.
Yeah.
Death, unlikely.
But hopefully
you really have to work hard probably to really do damage in death with a wax bullet. I mean, you have to probably, you know, but I'm not saying it won't happen.
Yeah.
Heaven
But
forbid,
accidents
if it should
happen. You should never, and the other thing is that it's safety first. And I want to talk a little bit about the association stresses safety first. You never point the gun at anyone.
Right.
And handle it with care.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. You always treat the gun like it's loaded. We don't walk around, even if it's not loaded, we walk around with unloaded guns. The only time we load this weapons, we're on the line and we were told to do so. The command is shooter, load, and make ready.
Okay.
And we do not do nothing before that. So
the rest of the time, the gun is empty.
Empty. You cannot pull the gun out to show somebody your gun. You have a special safe area to go to pull the gun out to show people the gun. So everything's all safety oriented in the sport. And
if you wanted to, this is a real gun. You could shoot live ammunition if you want to.
Absolutely.
Have you ever with this gun?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
Because?
Well, I don't shoot live ammo because my intention is not to ever draw from the gun, from the holster with a live ammo.
Right.
So.
And by the way, you are not allowed to practice it within the city of Fresno, are you?
Well,
unless you get special permission.
Well, I don't know if you even do that. There is a no-shoot zone around Fresno. So
even with the wax bullets?
Even with the wax, it's a projectile.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the problem. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, I can maybe get something that I can do safely somewhere in the city limits. I can do this, but I use my laser. I created a laser for my gun.
That you can practice in your living room with that laser.
Yes.
And that's what you do.
This is what I do. I mean, I don't have a place to shoot, so I shoot in my living room, of course, with the laser, not with wax bullets.
Yeah, let's get that straight.
Yeah,
who knows who might be watching this show?
Yeah, the repairs on the sheetrock would be too great, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah,
well, you wouldn't.
May I show you real quick how this works?
Ahead,
okay, this will come out. We load the gun. This is a laser bullet, so don't panic about a live round.
All right.
Okay, I'll cock and I'll shoot it, I guess, to my hand here, so you can kind of see.
Okay, I saw the laser, but we can't see your hand on screen because your hand is way out of the screen. Let's take the tight shot of Bob.
Okay, how about like this? How about if I shoot?
Well, listen, we need the tight shot of you. We can see the laser right there. Go ahead.
Let me get the gun cocked.
Yeah,
okay,
go ahead.
Here we go.
Okay, I just saw the laser, and I think the viewers at home saw it as well. So that's how you practice.
That's how I practice, and I shoot down my hallway at a little postie stuck to the wall at 50 inches to center. That's what the target is.
Yeah. Whoops, careful there.
Yeah. And
and your wife thinks what of this? She think you're nuts?
No. She's very supportive. You know, it's her,
Does she shoot?
actually, I like to joke with her, and I say it's her fault I do this. And she said, yes, you can go buy a gun.
And you've been married for how long?
It'll be 30 years this coming year.
Hey, let me ask you a controversial question. We only got about a minute left. I haven't focused too much on this. What do you think about gun control? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's in place. We have to deal with what we have in place. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. Of course, I have to abide by the rules of everybody else.
Right.
So.
But you believe in the right to bear arms.
I do. I believe in the right to bear arms. But, you know, I mean, just because we can go down there and safely get a gun, sometimes I think should we own one. You know?
Yeah.
So that's how
depends on who owns it.
Yeah, who owns it? You know.
Yeah,
but,
it's not the gun. It's the person that owns the
gun,
right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things. Somebody says, well, I could take my gun, I can cock it, and I can set it on a table, and it can sit there for years until someone takes access to it. You know. I mean.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm very open and very about gun control. So.
Well, Bob, I sure appreciate you coming on the program and sharing your thoughts with us. We have another call coming in, but we're simply out of time. We got less than 30 seconds, so we got to go to a commercial, and then we're out of here. Bob, I appreciate your time. You got to come back.
I'll love
to
come back.
When's your next competition? When is it?
Well, the competition starts around, I think, March or April, so I'll be back.
All right.
I'll shoot for that.
Sir, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
See you again. Hey, Dan Payne, our terrorism expert, is here tomorrow on Connect with Me. Have a great day. How many calls?